Okay. Anyways, let me move on to Rhea. She's been waiting patiently on the sidelines there. Let me get you, girl. Hi, Rhea. It's so
Hello.
nice to see you. Hi, this is Rhea Ryan, and who's also from Canada.
This is true. Yeah, different part of Canada, Western
Yeah,
Canada. Yeah, in Calgary. So
in
we
Calgary.
we are still getting snow up here, which is very annoying. There was probably a foot of snow in the mountains when I was there this weekend.
Oh
So
my gosh. Oh my gosh.
spring has not
And
sprung.
say again.
I said spring has not sprung here.
Yeah, I can't. I've been to Calgary too for work as well, which is actually really funny that I've been to both Toronto and Calgary for work. I used to work for Husky Energy. They were my client, and then Ontario Power Generation is mine now. So it's cool. It's definitely cool. It's the customs is really good. Do you fly in and out of the country at all? I guess it would be different for you since you're Canadian.
Yeah. We like I fly and go through customs, like if going to Mexico or the States. Usually would go through the Canadian customs side on the way back.
Yeah, it's like super organized. It's really well done. I
Oh,
was impressed. So, congratulations, Rhea,
I
that you
didn't
have good
I didn't
customs in
notice that,
Canada.
but no problem. That's no
You did
problem.
good, girl. Anyways, so your book, okay, Pretty Little Island. This is your first book?
Yes. Yes, my debut.
Wow. Wow. I picked it up last night and I'm hooked. I'm blown away. I think it's great. I love it. I'm trying to think like what percentage I'm into it. Maybe like 35% into the book, maybe. But it's got all this mystery. Like and I don't really know what's going on, but I do know what's going on. It's great. Why don't you tell us a little bit about it in your words, not my words?
Yeah, I don't wanna say too much because
Yeah,
there's
don't
sort of a
spoil.
there's like a big thing that happens, kind of maybe 20% in, 25% in that kind of really sets the stage for the rest of the book. So,
Oh, maybe
but
I'm not there yet. Maybe I'm
the
not. Maybe
things
not. I'm not as far as I thought.
I don't think you
Sorry, go
are,
ahead.
but no,
No,
that's
I don't
okay.
think so.
That's okay. I don't think you're there yet, but yeah, it's about a young girl who goes back to school, high school. So they are high school age, except for the male main characters who are twins. And they are a little bit older because something pretty traumatic happened to them. A mystery of sorts that you had already mentioned, and my main character London ends up joining the newspaper kind of journalism program, or not program but club, and
Hmm.
gets sort of tasked to do this side story on what really happened with these twins. And then they get sent to a hockey tournament in Alaska, and that is sort of maybe where I'll leave it because yeah, lots
That's
happens
yeah.
after that.
That's probably where I'm at. I'm thinking. It's great. You know the opening prologue having this celebrity appeal in it. Very off the beginning. There's cameras. There's lights. People are calling their name. You know, and there's that mystery about well, what happened to get to them to that point. Was really interesting. I was immediately kind of like, okay, what this is interesting. I don't really know what this because I like to go into books completely blind. So I don't read anything about I don't know what the genre is. I don't know, I didn't read the Amazon blurb. I see the book cover and I go. And so I was reading this obviously in preparation for today. And so I had absolutely no idea what it was about. And the prologue immediately drew me in. And then chapter 1 when they went back in time and she's on the beach. I'm not giving too many spoilers, but she's on the beach and there's like the click crowd nearby and the girl's starting to be catty and stuff. I'm immediately like, I was in, man. It's like drama. I love it. I love it. I think it's great. I
And
really
it's
do.
not YA, so I should be
In
clear. It
that
is
way. No,
not
thank you for
YA.
clarifying that. It's
Yeah,
no.
there's somebody said, "Oh, I should get my 14 year 15." No, do not get a
No, no, no.
15-year-old to read this book.
No,
It is
no.
definitely adults. The characters are younger, on the younger side,
Mm-hmm.
but that it is not a YA story in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, I still don't know what it's about. Like I know that we go back in time to high school. I know she was from the area and she left for some reason. We don't really know. There's like hints. Like you had like a sentence in there that said something like, I don't. It was some kind of reference to a he. you know, some kind of in the past, a he changed that about me or something, or he did this, whatever, when she was coming back to school. And I immediately was like, who's the he? Like, what happened to her? She was in ballet. There's some guy. Who's the he? What happened? You know, like, and so, like I said, like the little breadcrumb mystery for me has been perfect because it's been just enough to make me think, okay, what is that? What, and I want to read it to find out versus like being too mysterious and annoying the reader, you know? So, yeah, I've been, like I said, I'm really enjoying it so far, really loving it. And I'm
Yeah.
excited to have you on here to talk to you about it.
Yeah, most of my readers have said go in blind. It's the best way to read it, not knowing what happens, and it takes you down a few twists and turns. And it is, I would classify it as a dark romance first,
Okay. Yep.
but definitely thriller aspects to it as well. Sort of maybe even half and half. There's lots of thriller that happens. So yeah, maybe a bit of romance,
exciting.
but.
And then the two of the dudes in it are twins.
Yes. Micah and Mason. Yeah. They are twins.
Yeah.
So you have two very different twins to lust over.
So. Yes. One's very friendly and one is, you know, your typical guarded, you know, pissy, you know, MMC, right? Moody, brooding, you know, like, oh, it's good. I'm really, and she's strong too, the FMC. So far, she's been strong. I like her personality, and she's smart too, because she's like, I'm not playing into that. Like, I'm not, you know, they're being catty, the girls. I'm not playing into that. Like, I don't want to be a part of it. I just want to graduate, you know, move on with my life. I don't want to deal with all that cattiness. You know, of course, she'll get roped into it, right? That's part of all the drama. But yeah, it's good. All right, so tell me about you. I didn't mean to go on and on and on. I'm just telling you, I'm really enjoying the book. Tell me about you. How did you start writing? This is your first book. All that jazz.
So I think like during the pandemic, a lot of people, I think, started writing and got into hobbies like that. I didn't. I was watching other people do all these things and, you know, baking and writing books and all these things. And I feel like I accomplished nothing because I was just coping through it. And then I decided to start writing, maybe because I was just not feeling like I was doing those things. So I picked up just doing a writing course and a writing book about 2 years ago now. And so I spent a full year writing. I wrote two books. And then I sent one of the books to a developmental editor just to get some feedback on it. And then that is the book that you're reading now. That's the one I decided to go with. But I did write two. So I have another one that I don't know if anybody will ever read it, but we'll see. I'm writing another one now that's not connected to this series particularly. But I'm hooked. I have the writing bug. I spent a lot of time sort of studying the craft and really wanting to understand it and appreciate it. And I just fell completely in love with this whole indie author thing. So yeah, I just decided to take the plunge and self-publish. And I published my book in December.
That's wow. Yeah. And it's already doing really well too. Like you have what, close to 200 ratings, almost 5 stars. And it's just been since December.
Just
and it's your first book.
Yeah, it's picking up. So I don't know if it's word of mouth or because I started with nothing. I didn't have a street team. I didn't I had some ARC readers, but I was, you know, messaging people, just begging them to ARC for me. And, you know, it was just me starting off. So I you know, I have a lot of respect for authors who have to start from scratch, and it does take time. So now I have a wonderful street team, which I didn't have before, and I love them. They are the best.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah. So they did.
Yeah, that helps a lot too. You know, as long as the street team follows the rules of the group, that's all I'm going to say.
I have no complaints about my street team. They are fantastic.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. Yeah. We had to change the rules and ban street team posts because we were getting in the groups, we were getting street teams that were literally just joining to drop the adverts, which is fine. But we have a no promo rule in the group because we want to be the voice of, you know, readers, right? And have the real genuine recommendations, which it's tough, not to say that a street team isn't, that they are because they love the authors, but we just don't want the post to look promotional or a Facebook ad, like, you know, at all in the groups, right? Yeah. So we had to mend the rules because it was happening so often. And it's just like, oh, But that's cool. That's great that you have one that follows and supports you. That's awesome. So,
Yeah,
all right,
it's
cool.
a lot, but it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah. So there's a question for you. It says, "Are Rhea's books connected? Book 1 of 3, but labeled a duet."
Yes,
Oh, so what? Okay.
yes. So I did that. So there's a lot of backstory in book 1, so much so that I had to figure out what it was, and I did that by writing it out. And so I ended up writing a prequel
Yeah.
novella that happened. So it explains a lot of what happened before the timeline of Pretty Little Island. So that I did it as a book 2 because I did not want people reading it first, and I was worried that if it was a prequel that people would read it first, and that is not
Yep.
how I wanted people to experience the story. So it is a duet. I might just take the duet language off because it is clearly confusing people. But the second book is in the series on Amazon is called Twice Love Burn. It is meant to be read after Pretty Little Island, and it's sort of a bridge between Pretty Little Island, its sequel. The sequel is called Wicked Little Island, and it is coming out in July. And
Okay. I'm glad we asked.
the date up by a month because I have some impatient people who want to read it. So I made it happen a little bit earlier than I intended, which I'm really excited about. So.
Awesome. Okay, cool. Well, awesome. Well, I think we've covered all the books that you are working on right now, because that's the last question I ask at the end of each of the segments. So we've got
It's not actually. So
Oh, okay. Go ahead, girl. Sorry, I'm not trying to stop
I have
you.
one more. Yeah.
Okay,
So
go ahead.
these are the ones that I'm publishing. Wicked Little Island is coming out in the summer, but I'm actually working on I've aged them up a little bit, but a dark college romance, sort of serial killer, heavy emphasis on the dark. Dark.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah.
Good to know.
So lots of triggers. Read your triggers when reading my books, please.
Mm-hmm.
So that's coming out. I don't have a date for that one yet, but I've half written it, and I'm really excited about that one.
Okay, awesome, very exciting. Okay, and then we'll talk about when we get to the panel, like how people can follow you, like where they can follow you and stuff. We'll do that at the very end of the panel. Okay, cool, awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on. If you just sit tight, I'm gonna bring on Cameron here in a minute. I'm not gonna do to you, hopefully, what I just did to her, which was me leave her on. Sorry. 1 second.